Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa amma ba'd. Al-Qaza wa Adab al-Libas wa Nawm. Meaning this chapter has number of issues or related with number of issues. Qaza, judging or judgment, like we say Qadi, judge. Wa Adab al-Libas, and rules and etiquettes of the Islamic dress code, meaning how our libas should be. One Nawm, etiquettes of sleeping. What about the rulings? What about using what we say silk? I mean cloth or dresses made of silk or wool. Is it halal or haram? Or is it haram for everyone or women are allowed to wear silk? So a number of matters are included in this chapter, let's say. So let's start with the qaza. وَكُنْ آلِمًا أَنَّ الْقُضَاةَ ثَلَاثَةٌ فَقَادٍ قَمِينٌ بِالنَّئِيمِ الْمُخَلَّدِ. So here he's starting with some issues or some nasiha or some advice for the qudat. Again, qudat is the plural of qadi, judges. In Islam or in Islamic countries, yes, they are mahakim, they are courts where you find qazi. Okay, like here you find judge and jury, a system. There you call qazi and qudat. Qazi al-qudat is the chief justice or so. Okay, so their rule is very important because any dispute in worldly matters, they go to the qazi. The issues go to the qazi and he will listen to there's a procedure. He will listen to the both parties and look for the evidences and clues and so on and so forth and pass the judgment. Okay, what's the difference between qazi and mufti? As for the mufti, you ask fatwa. Okay, even when in a matter of dispute as well, you ask a fatwa. Look, my missus said this, or she's behaving that way, or vice versa, and so on and so forth. A mufti just give you advice, give you a fatwa, but he hasn't got a authority or so to implement upon his fatwa. As for the qadi, because they are appointed from the government, so they pass the judgment and they have the authority to get it implemented. So that is the difference between qazi and mufti. So he's saying no, that the quzat, the judges are of three types. And it has been mentioned in authentic hadith in which Prophet ﷺ said, al-qudatu salasa. There are three types of judge. One will be taken to the Jannah and two will end up in the hellfire. Yes. Pay attention to what he said. He said the one who will be taken to the Jannah is the qazi who passes his judgment based upon knowledge, and he's just as well. So he got knowledge and he's got justice. Meaning knowledge means he knows how to judge. He's aware of this issue and what the evidence he should be looking, and cross-examination, everything he's aware of, the whole concept. So his judgment is based upon ilm and knowledge. And the other thing, he's just. Okay, sometimes you may know someone is very expert or so, very expert, but yes, he may not be just or so. Sometimes they may accept what we say rishwa and bribery, okay, secretly or so, and pass the judgment in favor of the one who is let's say, yes, the one who is at fault, let's say. So we need to have, the qazi that will take into Jannah, who has got the knowledge, his judgment is based upon knowledge, and he's adil as well. Okay, what about the other two? The other two, Prophet ﷺ said someone who has no knowledge and he is zalim as well. Meaning he follows his lust and desire and he shows favoritism for his relatives and so on and so forth. He's not just. Neither he has got knowledge. The third one is who hasn't got knowledge, but yes, the third qazi who will be taken to the hellfire is he hasn't got knowledge, he's jahil. Even though his judgment, let's say, is just or something. Meaning whatever judgment he passes is correct and he's being just. But then why he will be taken to the hellfire? Because he hasn't got the skill, meaning his judgment is based upon jahl. He's jahil, he does not know. Randomly whatever he decided happened to be the correct judgment. Okay, so that is authentic hadith. That's what he's saying. Kun aliman. realize that أن القضاة ثلاثة, that the judges are of three types. فقاضٍ, there is one type of judge, قمين بالنعيم المخلد, he will be taken to the Jannah. Who is that one? ذلك من بالحق أصبح عالما, the one who knows the truth and he is skillful. He is aware of the whole, the concept of judgment, and he is knowledgeable. And وَيَعْدِلُ, and he is just, meaning he passes his judgment based upon knowledge, and he does not follow lust and desire, or doesn't do favor to anyone. Even let's say if his own relative is at fault, okay, he doesn't pass judgment in his favor. And that's what we've been told. It's meaning it's easier said than done. We've been told that be just, كُونُوا قَوَّامِينَ بِالْقِسْطِ شُهْدَاءَ. Even if it is against your close relatives, your parents, your children, or against yourself, say what is true. And how many times we find that two people are arguing and you randomly take the side of your relative? Not how many times, it looks like always. Rarely you find someone who tries to understand, and yes, at the time of argument he say to his relatives, no, you are at fault, shut up, and you have done the wrong. No. As soon as you see that someone is your brother or sibling or uncle and the other person is not your relative, you take his side without knowing who is at fault or who is guilty and who is being oppressive. That's how things are. But yes, righteous people are there. I mean, yes, during all eras or all times, there are some righteous people who may be being just or so, but they are very few. Okay, وَقَاضٍ بِحُكْمِ الْحَقِّ أَصْبَحَ عَالِمًا وَلَكِنَّهُ فِيهِ يَجُورُ وَيَعْتَدِي. Another qazi that will be taken to the hellfire, he knows, meaning قَاضٍ بِحُكْمِ الْحَقِّ أَصْبَحَ عَالِمًا, he knows who is upon truth and who is guilty. Okay, I mean the second type of qazi who will be taken to the hellfire, he has got the knowledge. As soon as he listens to the issue, he knows who is guilty and who is innocent. But وَلَكِنَّهُ فِيهِ يَجُورُ وَيَعْتَدِي, but he is not being just. Okay, his judgment is not just or so. So despite having knowledge, if you are not adil, you will be taken to Jannah. And the third one, you are being just but randomly. You haven't got the information, you haven't got the knowledge. Even though his judgment is according to meaning his judgment is right, but still he will be taken to the hellfire. Why? Because why he has taken the responsibility if he hasn't got the knowledge? Is that clear now? Someone may say that if his judgment is fine, if he is fair and just, that should be good because he got good quality. We'll say yes, you got one good quality, but you're losing or missing the another good which is required. I mean, no knowledge. So you shouldn't have been taken the job. Okay, وَآخَرُ يَقْضِي جَاهِلًا. And the other one that will be the third qazi that will be taken to the hellfire is the one, yes, يَقْضِي جَاهِلًا, meaning he decides or passes judgment based upon ignorance. Okay, sometimes his judgment can be right and sometimes, but still even if it is right, he is still guilty. Why he is guilty for? Because he shouldn't be in that place in the very first place. Okay, that's what it's saying. وَآخُرُ يَقْضِي جَاهِلًا فَكِلَاهُمَا لَهُ النَّارِ. So the second one and the third one, they both are in the hellfire. فِي نَسِّ الْحَدِيثِ الْمُصَدَّدِ, as it has been mentioned in authentic hadith. As I mentioned, Prophet ﷺ said the judges are of three types. One will be taken to Jannah, the other two will be in hellfire. وَكُلُّ جَهُولٍ بِالْقَضَاءِ فَإِنَّهُ حَرَامٌ عَلَيْهِ فَلْيُحَذَّرْ وَيُؤَدِي. وَكُلُّ جَهُولٍ بِالْقَضَاءِ. Anyone who is ignorant of the rulings, of the issues related with the qaza, then it is haram upon him to become a qazi. Okay, it's haram upon him and haram upon the person who is appointing him. Okay, both will be sinful. The qazi the person should excuse and say, look, I'm not suitable for this job. And the one who is appointing him, because he is uncle, he is his brother, he's his cousin, he will be also sinful, because you're betraying the ummah. You're putting someone in those sensible or important posts, someone who hasn't got knowledge. Only reason is that because he's your brother or cousin or uncle, and so on and so forth. وَكُلُّ جَهُولٍ بِالْقَضَاءِ فَإِنُّهُ حَرَامٌ عَلَيْهِ فَلْيَحْذَرْ وَيُؤَدِّهِ فَخُذْ فِي سَبِيلٍ لِلسَّلَامَةِ وَاجْتَنِبْ. He's saying the best thing is, even though you got a means, let's say, you're knowledgeable, and you think that you can be just as well. So he's saying, فَخُذْ فِي سَبِيلٍ لِلسَّلَامَةِ وَاجْتَنِبْ. It's better to avoid this type of responsibility. Don't take those responsibility. So what he is saying, that even if you got those qualities, still it is good to not go look for that type of job, because it's a huge responsibility. Let's say you're knowledgeable, and let's say you're practicing Muslim, and you think that, but still if the job is offered, it's good not to accept, because at the end of the day it is a responsibility, and you're only a human being. And many our righteous, what we say, Salaf scholars, yes, they have refused, like Imam Malik, Imam Abu Hanifa, and many others. Many others, they offered this job, and obviously they were ulama and imam, big scholars, and they were practicing, just apparently, inshallah, but they excused, they did not accept. Why for? Yes, because of the huge responsibility. Okay, but here scholars have said, they said, it's fine that you can excuse and not accept if you think that there are other people who can take up the job. There are other people suitable for this job, then you can excuse. But if there is no one in the community suitable for the job, and you are the only one knowledgeable and practicing, or let's say apparently just person, if you excuse, what happens? That job will be given to other person who hasn't got those two qualities, ilm and adala. In that case, scholars said it will be obligatory upon him to accept. There's nothing wrong. Not only nothing wrong, you should accept. You must accept. Why? Because there's no one else. If you refuse, then what happens? That job will be given to someone else. Is it clear now? And the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. What happened in the story of Yusuf alayhi salam? When he released from the prison and brought to the king, and king was happy with him, he said, you stay with us. He himself asked, he said, Ijalni ala khazain al-arz, appoint me on the treasures, meaning make me the finance minister, let's say. Ijalni ala khazain al-arz. Inni hafidun alim, because I am hafidun alim, meaning I got the amana trust, I'm a trustworthy person and got the skill, knowledge as well. Inni hafidun alim. Okay, so the issue is clear. You can excuse, not accept the job if you think that there are other people available. That's fine, it's not my responsibility to be the qazi, the other scholars, other good people. But if there is no one except you, then you should accept. Because if you don't, then obviously the job will be given to someone who's not suitable. Okay, that's what he's saying. وَاجْتَنِبْ تَوَلَّ الْقَضَاء. Don't accept this job. وَاحْفَظْ لِنَفْسِكَ. Take care of yourself. Protecting yourself is more important. فَكُلُّ وِلَايَاتِ الْأَنَامِ نَدَامَةٌ. What happened, these responsibilities? Okay, initially you may enjoy, and you may think that that's good, I'm president, I am this, I'm qazi, I am chairman, and so on and so forth. But later on, it may turn out meaning for kullu walayatil anami nadamatun. Later on, you may find in hereafter that you are in trouble. You did not do justice. You did not fulfill the responsibility. Obviously, it is responsibility. It is responsibility. All these things are responsibility. Even if it is a small mosque or center, whatever. Unless you fulfill your responsibility in the best possible way, that's fine, otherwise you will be questioned. And there is a hadith as well, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, This hadith Prophet ﷺ said, don't accept the wilaya. Wilaya means, yes, a position of authority. What happened? Prophet ﷺ said, the beginning is nice, okay? Meaning being in a position of authority, you may enjoy from worldly perspective also, but if you don't fulfill your responsibility, you will be questioned and it will be a source of regret for you in Day of Judgment. Umar Radiallahu Anhu, despite being Khalif, the best second Khalifa and the best second companion, what he used to say, and he was just as well, he used to say that if an animal is, baby animal, or if a small camel is lost somewhere in desert, I'm afraid that I may be questioned about it as well. I may be questioned because I am a person of authority. And you know the story. The story. Umar Radiallahu Anhu, when he was Khalifa, okay, very nice story. We can spend some time. When he was Khalifa, Radiallahu Anhu, obviously he was, what we say, the second best companion, or the second best person after the Anbiya and Rasul. And there are a number of authentic hadiths that speaks about his virtue, about Umar Radiallahu Anhu, number of authentic hadiths. So when he was Khalifa, he used to walk during the night time. He would take one of his servants, slave, Aslam, and he would go into the streets like spying. Okay, spying not in this sense that he would hear airdrop of what people are, to see how people are doing, what are they up to, and so on and so forth. Because he was Khalifa, so he wanted to know. One day he saw in the outskirts of Medina, there is a tent, and there's a fire, meaning someone is trying to cook something also. He said, Subhanallah, this is a cold night, and meaning little bit away from the population, little bit away in isolated, in the outskirts. Who is there? What's happening here? Then he went with his slave. So he found there is a lady with few children, and children were crying. Okay, children were crying out of hunger. And he said, what it is, what you are cooking, what's happening here? And then she said, okay. Then she complained about the Khalifa. She said, look, I got young kids and not being looked after, and Allah will take care of Khalifa. Allah will take care of him. Then Umar said, how should he know? How would he know about you? Okay, he may not be aware of your situation. She said, okay, he is taking responsibility, and then there's no excuse for him to say, I'm not aware of it. It is his responsibility to find out. Then he said, okay, what's happening, what you're cooking? She said, nothing. It is only water I'm boiling. She said, why you're doing so? She said, in order to calm down the kids, so kids will know that I'm preparing something, so they may fall asleep after they get tired, waiting, and they may fall asleep. I'm cooking nothing. And then Umar obviously, what we say, yes, he got moved, and then he went back to Medina and opened the what we say, the Baytul Mal, and yes, and prepared a bag full with necessary things, sugar, ghee, and what we say, dough, and so on and so forth. Big bag. Okay, and look, Umar Radiallahu Anhu, his slave Aslam said, okay, put me on my shoulder. He said, no, it has to be on because my responsibility, I've fallen short. He said, no, I'm your slave or servant. It's not appropriate for you to carry. Let me carry. He said, no, tomorrow are you going to carry my sins? Okay. Anyway, then he went there and he started cooking something, preparing. And what happened then? And then he himself took care of preparing some food or some sweet halwa or so. And then he served to the kids. And obviously they were hungry, so they ate, and now they were started playing with each other. Before they were crying. And then, then Umar Radiallahu Anhu, she said, okay, thereafter she said, instead of Umar, you should have been the Khalifa. Not Umar. Okay, then Umar said, okay, come tomorrow to the yes, to the Khalifa's home also, and you will see. Say some good things. So yes. So even though he wasn't aware of the situation of this lady, because she was living maybe in isolated or travel or something, but yes, he said, no, I shouldn't be going and telling him. He should know about us. He should know about us because he has taken the responsibility. So that is the big responsibility, being Khalifa or person in power or charge. Unless you are fulfilling your responsibility, then you are doing good job. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, here he said, فَكُلُّ وَلَايَاتِ الْأَنَامِ نَدَامَةٌ, meaning every position of authority will be a source of regret. سِوَى مَنْ وَقَى اللَّهِ الْمُهَيْمِنْ فِي غَدِي, except for the one who feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fulfill his responsibility. Then it will be, obviously he'll be rewarded because he took charge of something and he looked after those who were subjected to him under his authority or subject. وحسب فتى يرجو السلامة زاجرا سؤال عن المرء فافقه تسددي. وحسب فتى يرجو السلامة زاجرا سؤال عن المرء. He's saying a person should not put in the position, again he's saying the same, should not put himself in the position of authority. Why? Because tomorrow he'll be questioned. And there's a famous hadith of Sahih Bukhari Muslim, ala kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an rayyati. Everyone has some sort of authority. Some are under, well, how do you say, subjected to his power also. Like if at least a father has authority over his wife and children, those who are independent upon him. A teacher has authority over his students, so on and so forth. So everyone has, and the person who is Khalifa, his authority and power is large, at a large scale. So Prophet ﷺ said everyone will be questioned about his responsibility. كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. Okay, and now see he's mentioning Umar radiyallahu anhu. أما عمر الحبر المسدد قائل على ليتني أنجو كفافا من الردى. Look to Umar radiyallahu anhu, despite being the best, second best Khalifa and second best companion, despite being al-Hibr, very knowledgeable, and being guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, there are a number of hadiths in which Prophet ﷺ said, if there is someone if there is someone who is inspired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, inspiration is not receiving revelation. Revelation is wahi. Okay, inspiration means putting the correct idea in your head also. If someone if there is someone to be inspired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it got to be Umar. If there was a Nabi after me, it would have been Umar radiyallahu anhu. So he is saying Umar radiyallahu anhu, despite being of what we say, holding the status and knowledge, what did he say when he was about to pass away after he got attacked? And after he got attacked and people became sure that sooner or later he's going to pass away because his, how do you say, his intense styles. Yes, they got badly injured. So people were giving him some milk to drink and it would come from the other side. So they knew that he's not going to survive. Okay, then Abdullah ibn Abbas, the young companion. Okay, and obviously the young companion and knowledgeable as well. He's rightly called Tarjuman al-Quran, the one who has been given the understanding of the Quran, and Prophet ﷺ made dua for him. He came to visit Umar radiyallahu anhu, and he started giving him good news, saying, Abshir, have good news. Okay, even though you don't say you are departing, you don't say the words, but say good news. Allah will reward you for all the good thing that you have done. There's nothing for you to worry. Okay, so yes, Allah will look after you or reward you, and inshallah Jannah and the delights of Jannah will be. So he was saying those good words, and that is sunnah. That is sunnah. If you see someone in that situation, okay, increase his hope in Allah's mercy. Encourage him to do tawbah as well, but at the same time, encourage encourage or increase his hope. Say good words. Say, don't worry, you've been a good Muslim. You used to offer the prayer. We don't know about you anything except good. So this type of people will not be punished in the grave or also in hereafter. So yes, this type of people inshallah will be rewarded, and you will be one of them. So this is something really good. That is again a sunnah. So that's what Abdullah ibn Abbas was saying to Umar radhiyallahu anhu, and he heard. Okay, and he said, okay, what did you say? Say it again. Say it again. And Abdullah ibn Abbas said again. He said, look, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away or left, and he was happy with you. He was pleased with you. And he mentioned the other good qualities. And then Umar radhiyallahu anhu said, okay, he said, Ala laytani anju kafafan min al-Adab. He said, look, if I have been left by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, without any liability or without any reward, I will be happy. Okay, la li wa la alayya, meaning the khilafah and all the things that I have done. Meaning, yes, if I'm successful in the sense that there's no punishment upon me and neither upon, let's say, reward or something, still I will be happy. La li wa la alayya, meaning, yes, there's no blame upon me and there's no, let's say, reward, still I will take that. Okay, so see, despite being such a righteous person, he's saying, if I'm being treated in that way, I will take it, I will be happy. And it's good to have good hope, but at the same time we need to be fearful as well. Yes, you have learned something and you have listened some videos here and there, and now you think that your foot is already there in the Jannah. I mean, the way you behave and the body language, you judge other people and you look down upon you always talk about him and them and that sheikh and this person, and you neglect yourself. I mean, having good hope is fine, but being certain is a trap of shaitan. You're not certain until, yes, you're taken there. Okay, let's carry on and take a few more verses. Okay, kun aliman anna al-qada fadilatun wa ajrun azimun lil muhiq al-muayyad. Again he's saying, despite what he said, that don't accept this offer or this post, but it is anna al-qada fadilatun, meaning it is a virtuous job, and there is a huge reward for the one who is truthful and just and knowledgeable. He will be guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, and from that post he can amrin bima'ruf, he can enjoin good and forbid evil. He can enjoin good as well. What it means enjoin good? He can give nasiyah to the oppressor. Okay, there was a story in Saudi, one of my teachers was saying that a lady's issue went to the Qazi. What about the lady's issue? That someone borrowed money or something, and there were no witness or something, and refused. Refusing means said, no, I don't owe anything to you. And the Qazi realized that sometimes, yes, this is the knowledge. He realized that the lady is speaking the truth. Okay? Sometimes you see the expression, the face and the body language, but be careful. Be careful. One has to be knowledgeable, not just by looking the brothers of Yusuf, when they thrown him into the well. What did they do? They came to the dad crying. So don't see that someone is crying. Ladies sometimes they do cry a lot in the counseling when they come. Not necessarily they are upon the truth or so. You have to be more careful, and yes, but again, the truthfulness can be apparent as well. So one has to be clever and balanced. So he realized that the lady is speaking the truth, but there were no evidences. Okay, then how Qazi is going to judge? If there is no evidences, then he will ask the person to take oath and say he hasn't borrowed anything, and he will get away. Is it clear now? He knew that the lady is going to lose her right and money because the person is already denying. So what stops him from saying that by taking qasam? So now he went to the Amr bil Ma'ruf that is saying, Qazi can enjoin good. Enjoin good meaning give nasiyah. And he said, look, you may get away with the judgment, but on the day of judgment, there won't be any money. There won't be any money with you to give her back. And she won't accept the money either. In the day of judgment, you don't have. Even if you have, no one will have. And no one will accept the money. Money will be worthless. So what she will do, she will take your hasanat. So it is better that if you have taken the money, to give her back. Even though, let's say, there is no evidence or so, but you know in the bottom of your heart that you have taken. So if that is the case, then give, because this is easy. You only lose few thousand riyals or something. But on the day of judgment, she may take thousands of your hasanat. You will be in need. Each single good deed, you will be desperately in need of those good deeds. So they will increase the weight of the scale of the good deeds also. So he gave the nasiha and it worked. It worked. And he admitted and gave the money to the lady. So that's what he's saying. The good Qazi who is being just and knowledgeable is praiseworthy, and he will get the reward. From there he can enjoy the good. وَكَشْفِ ظَلَامَةٍ, and he can remove the darkness. Means someone is dark or someone is upon wrong, he can remove. وَإِصْلَاحُ ذَاتِ الْبَيْنِ, and he can bring peace between two groups or two individuals. Okay, when the matter is gone, he is heated, and he can say, calm down. Okay, and Islah Dhat al-Bayn, meaning he can rectify and try to make peace among them. For example, he has damaged the car, he is asking 1,000, and the Qazi can intervene and say, look, okay, and he is saying 200, he may say, come find a middle ground, neither 1,000 nor 2, let's say 5. So he can act as a middle person and bring peace among disputant. وَإِصْلَاحِ ذَاتِ الْبَيْنِ مَا زَجْرِ مُعْتَدِي, and because he is a person of authority, he can zajr mu'tadi, meaning he can establish punishment upon someone who is unjust oppressor. Not only he can pass the judgment against him, he can put penalty as well. Okay, penalty in the sense that someone is being bought. In many cases involved. Here the case is against him, there against him, here. So Qazi should need to be wise, and he can put extra penalty or something as a deterrent for him, so he should not oppress anyone anymore. Okay, nowadays Sheikh Salih Fawzan says the Quzat, they take it as a job. Job in the sense that they come at the working hours and they finish, and they don't go beyond, like enjoining good or removing darkness or admonishing the wrongdoer or so, or putting a penalty or bringing peace between two. It's not only about judgment. Judgment will come later, but before judgment, when you see many things, you can rectify. So he says nowadays people work as a job, come at the time, go and do the paperwork and pass the judgment. They should go out of the way and do all those things that he has mentioned. Okay, let's take a couple of lines and stop. وَحَذِّرْ عَلَيْهِ الْإِرْتِشَاءَ وَقُبُولُهُ وَأَنْتَ لِلدَّفْعِ ظُلْمِ فَرْشِ لِتَقْتَدِي. Okay, this is the last line, because now the other lines are talking about the etiquettes of dress. So he's saying وَحَذِّرٌ عَلَيْهِ الْإِرْتِشَاءَ. وَحَذِّرْ عَلَيْهِ الْإِرْتِشَاءَ, meaning he's saying accepting the bribery. Accepting the bribery is haram. Be Qazi or any person who is in those places, of authority or so, someone is coming with his application and giving you £50 or £500 and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is called bribery. So it is haram to give bribery, and more so to accept it. وَقُبُولَهُ. So neither give nor the other person should accept. Okay, this is something really bad. Why? Because what happens with the bribery? I mean, the countries or the cultures where the bribery is prevalent, the truth and the haqq is lost. He will pass the judgment in the favor of the one who has given you something beneath the desk or so, or secretly. And the victim, he will be deprived from his right. So, I mean, the evil consequences of this practice are greater and far-reaching. So one should avoid giving bribery, and one should avoid accepting the bribery as well. Okay, there's one issue he has excluded. He said, وَأَنْتَ لِدَفِي الظُّلْمِ فَارْتَشِي لِتَفْتَرِي. He's saying, if the rights belongs to you, and you think that the Qazi is not going to pass judgment in your favor. Is it clear now? I mean, the rights belongs to you, either in the dispute, or let's say there is a job and you think you are the suitable one, all the other candidates are not. Okay, sometimes you come to know that, yes, my friend also applied, he also applied, and you think you are the best person. He says, in that case, to get your right, it's fine if you are giving the rishwa. He's saying this is not called rishwa, letafti, rather it is called fidya. Okay, did you get that? He's saying giving bribery is haram, except for where, in the cases where you think that truth belongs to you, you are the victim, or rights in the matter belongs to you, and you think you won't get it until you give. There are, meaning, yes, this type of people in many other countries. You don't get your right until you give something. Okay, so what's the ruling there? Okay, the author is saying it's fine to give there, it won't be, because there is hadith in which Prophet ﷺ said, لَعْنَ اللَّهُ الرَّاشِي وَالْمُرْتَشِي. The one who is giving bribery is cursed, and the one who is taking is cursed. So he's saying in these type of cases, giving is fine. But the one who is taking, it is haram upon him. Why? Because he's taking for no reason, no right. Why you are giving? Because you are certain that you won't get your right until you give them. Is it clear now? But Sheikh Saleh Fawzan says it is good to avoid. But if you only avoiding in a society where everyone is giving and taking, it won't change anything. I mean, if all people started following these etiquettes and stop giving bribery, then yes. Okay, we'll stop here.